Welcome to another Founder Wisdom Pod with Anand Narayanan. With us today, he's speaker, coach, author, entrepreneur. He's transforming businesses with cutting edge techs, but he's also into mindfulness, fixing addictions. He's into yoga, science, spirituality through conscious living, which is a business he founded in 21. He's also founder and CEO of Anika Technology. So we're going to talk about the heart, the brain. We're going to talk about the left and the right, the yin and the yang today. And I was pre-speaking with Anand about young Indians trying to imitate or A/B testing like Western philosophies, like the glasses, the riding motorcycles, and capitalism. And yeah, we're going to discuss about that because I was telling Anand also that most of us Westerners that I think are onto something, quote unquote, are looking to the East for the values there, the chakras, the yoga, the heart, and looking deeper than the brain, because the West is very, very cerebral. Obviously, we're very good at brain things, right? But I don't think the world can scale with only the brain. We need the chakras to go a bit more down in the heart and the gut and so forth. That was a long intro. I am very caffeined up right now. This podcast was brought to you by podpire.com. If you want to start, scale, be invited to a podcast, get sponsors and so forth. I also have this new coaching program for those that are interested. If you want to get 75 meetings a week, scale, and have a back end, a community that you can build in the process, that is super fun. That would be apolloliftup.com. Anand, I am sorry for that long of an intro. Can you introduce yourself? Tell me a bit more about your businesses.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you so much, Charles, for having me here. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. Thank you so much. So I started my IT services company in 2016, which is majorly into AI, machine learning, big data, and some of these cutting edge technologies. However, in the year 2021, I was going through various journeys myself, upskilling myself, going through transformation on various levels of body, mind, emotions, and my life energies. And I was going through various challenges myself, stress, anxiety, depression, addictions. And I realized that there are so many other working professionals going through the same problems. Every Friday, they just want to go hit a bar or go do something and just, get sloshed or, go into oblivion. And I realized this is not the way to live. I realized that I was doing the same thing, and something hit me there, and I was like, okay, I should be doing more with my life, and I should change this around. And that's when I realized that I need to work on my body, mind, emotions, and life energies. And that's when I started my transformation journey, and I worked on myself because I was going through various kind of addictions like alcohol, smoking, drugs, whatnot, you could name it. Because of the pressure, of the stress, of the anxiety, and all of that, we use coping mechanisms. And it's very much, we as Indians have been very influenced by the West. And that's been hitting us big time. The cultures of the West have been engrossed within Indian communities now. And that has influenced us in a big way. And that has taken over in some way. And that took me in the wrong direction. And then that's when I started my transformation journey. And that's when I started conscious living after my transformation journey. And I realized there are many other people who need help to get out of addictions, to have peak performance in or made their workplace as leaders, or to grow in some way and have that peak performance in their life and have clarity in their life. Okay, increase their levels of perception. So a lot of people in the world as of now have been, like, the modern world and the modern education system has been focused on the intellect part of the mind. But there are more aspects to the mind. There are deeper dimensions to the mind, which I got to know only when I studied yoga, when I studied about the body, mind, emotions, and the life energies. And that's when I got to know there's so much more to the mind. And that blew my mind in so many ways. And that's how my conscious living journey started. And I help people get out of different kinds of problems, may it be stress, anxiety, depression, with different modalities of yoga, meditations, breath works, which are really powerful because our breath is controlled with the body and mind. So when we can control our breath, we can also control our mind and our body. So it plays a vital role in your life. So this is my journey for the last couple of years, along with the IT company that I run.
Wow. For young folks that want to A/B test alcohol, like if I can save you some time, if you're that kind, right, I can tell you that it's a hold. It won't add any value to your life. What will add value to your life is starting a business, investing in yourself, self-improvement, constantly getting better on a daily basis. That is scalable. Notice the word scalable. Alcohol is fun, but the next day it's a headache. Same for drugs, by the way. So, but I think the best of us generally, like, we are really hard-headed and we want to A/B test these substances for ourselves. So go ahead. Disclaimer also, like, if you take one wrong misstep, you might end up in the hospital, or just in the asylum with like psychosis and stuff. So be careful about these things. You might not have the genes for them. So these are the risks you're taking, but do your tests, do your experiments. But and a bunch of people, this shit doesn't scale, and I talked with so many folks on this podcast that had these problems, these addiction problems, these alcohol problems, CEOs, of big companies. And yeah, we all came to the same conclusion. This doesn't scale. It's poison, it's Satan, or it's whatever, like, bad God you can think about, or evil force. That's what it is. It's a well disguised demon right there. Anyway, you and I were talking about addictions. I was like, did addiction arrived in India? Which is a very naive but somewhat accurate question. I mean, the point is not to say that, yeah, we're not, there's no addiction, and you responded to that. There's the youngest population. So yeah, a lot of people must be going through a lot of stuff. I don't think that big pharma, it has started recommending opioids en masse. I don't think it will happen again. I hope that people are aware of that, because there's been a real epidemic in the States. There was also this drug, I forgot what it's called, sold from China, that used to kill people. I forgot what it was called, the crocodile skin drug or whatever. Anyway, US like really got drugged and got these huge problems. If you can tell me a bit more, Anand, like what types of addiction you see in young people, what kind of behaviors do you see in them? Because one thing that I observed in India is that parents put a lot of expectations on their children's, to have good grades, to be the perfect little child. And the results of that most of the time is burnout. So what other trends have you absorbed in youngsters in India or in your clients?
Right. That's a great question, actually. So most of the people think addictions are only behavioral. Like, if I smoke, that's an addiction. If I drink coffee, that's an addiction. Okay, but that's addiction is more than that. It's not just in your behavior. It could be in your thoughts. It could be in your emotions. Okay, there are repetitive patterns. Anything that you go from feeling good or feeling bad to a feeling good factor, that's when you're addicted to it. And when you want it again and again, that's when you know that, okay, you're hooked onto it. So it could be anything. So I have various kind of clients that I deal with. There are some people who are like addicted to porn, addicted to devices, addicted to various kind of drugs, addicted to tech devices, which they are not able to get out of it. So there are all kinds of people, and there are some of those overthinkers who just go on and on, like, thinking about various things which are uncontrollable. So those are repetitive thinking patterns. Some people like go into pain all the time, like, they always, some of them are addicted to seeking attention all the time. So there are all kinds of patterns that you can see as addictions. So It's about recognizing those patterns and solving those from the root problem itself. So any compulsive behavior works in such a way that if you leave one, it will go and hold on to something else. So you have to solve it from a root level, completely from a root level. And for that, we use some powerful meditation techniques. We use some powerful breathwork techniques. It's also known as pranayama, which is a whole science of breath, which is associated, and which can easily recondition your body, mind, emotions, and life energies, which plays a big role.
Breath work is so powerful. Yoga is too. I've gone on various retreats. Porn is a very strong one that I have observed in India. I know because some of my employees were watching porn back in the days, and we took screenshots of their. There were like time tracking software that took screenshot of that, So I know it for a fact. And yeah, young Indians. I mean, we've seen all these rape stories in India. I think that young men, like are kind of somewhat repressed. There's like these pressures, and internet is easily accessible. So you get that. And to me, that's a major danger for society's growth. I think that porn is like easiness, instantly accessible. I think it makes men weak. It takes the testosterone out of them quite figuratively and literally. And testosterone is needed for growth. Although one could argue that there's already way too much testosterone in this world and that it's destroying it. Breath work is so powerful. I use an app called othership.us, and I just go on my roof here, get some sun exposure, and I do breath work at the same time. What do you recommend your clients do? Do you prescribe them yoga, physical activity, breath work, diet, mindset shift? Like, how do you help them grow out of this?
So we use a holistic approach towards it because there are four important elements that we have to look into: mental, emotional, physical, and your life energies. Now, a lot of people don't understand about what energies are, what life energies are all about. And this is where it plays an important role, understanding firstly what energy is. Like, I wish this was taught in the school, because the whole universe is nothing but an energy. And it's about more the energy you can have in yourself, the more results you can achieve in your life. And most people don't know how the energy works within our system. We have Ida and Pingala, yin, yang, if you're aware of that. So we have 72,000 energy pathways within our body. Okay. And these pathways are like, it's like a whole nervous system. Like you have veins in your whole body. Like that, you have nadis, which are known as energy pathways in your body. And the major centers of these energies are the chakras, which you might be aware of, which are popularly known as chakras. So there is a flow of this energy that constantly happens within our body. But when we go through various emotional traumas and various lifestyle problems that we go through, there are various energy blockages within our body, and the energy doesn't flow through us the way it should be flowing. So we work on certain life energy aspects of you to cleanse the energy pathways within you. So there are certain techniques that you use for that, like one of them is Anulom Vilom, also known as Nadi Shodhan, Nadi Shuddhi, means cleansing of the energy pathways. So when you cleanse your energy pathways, the flow of energy is easily possible within your system. Then we look at your mental aspects, your mental body. In yogic sciences, everything is referred to as body. Okay, like you have your mental body, your emotional body, you have an energy body, like that. Each one is referred to as a body. When you look at the mental body, it's all about your thoughts. Okay, the way you think, all your thought process is related to your mental body. And then we look at your emotional aspects. So here, all your emotions, emotions are the juice of it. Like emotions control your life. If you are frustrated, angry, upset with someone, you're going to make the wrong decisions in your life. You're going to be in lower energy states. Okay, and you would also not be able to function at the best level possible. But if you are curious, enthusiastic, loving, joyful, grateful, okay, these are positive high vibrational states to be in. So we take them through certain processes where they can tap into these states to get into those high emotional states. And then we look at your physical aspect, which is also an important aspect, where we make them do certain asanas, certain physical, it's important to have that physical vitality within you. So we make them go through certain processes, some physical asanas that are really beneficial for them. So these four key elements are what we majorly look into.
What is the change? How can you quantify that change into your clients, and when does it happen? Quantify and qualify that change for us and the timeline.
Okay. So we fix a timeline of about 3 months for our clients, like to bring about that change in their life. And I give my clients 100% money back guarantee that if you do not get the results you want, okay, I will pay you back every penny you have invested with us. But there's a clause to it. You have to follow the processes that have been assigned to you. Okay. The actionables given to you, the practices that have been given to you, the sessions, you need to attend your sessions. So within our program, we have a counselor, a therapist, and a coach. 3 people working for you, on your transformation. That's why it's a very holistic program. So, and within this, they do see a change, and that is something which they let us know. Because when it comes to addiction, getting out of your addiction is a big change. Changing your patterns of living is a big change. It is a breakthrough for them. So those are the kind of results we start seeing.
And how long does it take?
So with certain clients who have applied exactly the frameworks given to them, it takes a couple of weeks. A week or two is good enough where they can start seeing some results. Okay. And people who have consistently followed, within a month, they have seen tremendous results. And 90 days is what I have kept so that they can see really good, realistic results, like, which can amplify their growth in a big way.
Love it. Where can people find out more about you, Anand?
Well, when it comes to conscious living, they can go on consciouslivingmission.com. So that's where they can learn more about us. And they could also check my LinkedIn profile, where it also speaks about Anika Technologies, the IT services company that I run.
Right. Okay. And Anand Narayanan on LinkedIn for those that didn't catch that. And I am Charles Cormier, your host, founderwisdompodcast.com. That was another kick-ass episode of Founder Wisdom Pod.